And Ted, I guess, question for you. Do you see as some of the key stakeholders inside of business? Recently there was a post on ZDNet from Diane Hinchcliffe's sort of outlining all the possible stakeholders in driving Enterprise 2.0 adoption and kind of the pros and cons of each. And I think the conclusion that the article drew was that it takes a village. So within your experience at UVM, who are the key drivers of this, and how do you see that playing out?
I don't know that I'd assign it to roles. It's natural to look at that and think about that because we want to be able to help people understand how to do it. But my off-the-cuff response to that is it's the individuals, not their titles, that really matters. And you've got to find the people who have the passion for it, who get it, and have enough influence to help accomplish the objectives that you're trying to set out. That might be in your particular organization in your IT department. It might be in your particular organization in your internal comms department. It might be in HR. I think it's tough to say. I think Diane's post made a lot of great points, but I'd urge everybody, as always, your mileage may vary. So, look at it and assess your own culture and the abilities and the talents of the people that you've got, and try and pick the people who are really going to advance the cause, no matter what division they're in.
And sort of a follow-up question, how about the C-suite? Like, to what extent are you seeing more of that, top-down, we need to have a Enterprise 2.0 strategy here? Do you hear that from some of your colleagues?
I actually think it's coming from the top and the bottom, and it's the middle that's trying, and that makes sense. They're the operational people who have to make this all work. I think that's where you're getting some of the questions, and I don't really want to say that they're roadblocks necessarily, but they have legitimate risk concerns, and so you have to work through that middle group that's running the operations of the company to figure out how it works. And I think part of the reason it's so hard to provide one roadmap for everybody is because it is very individual specific and it's very cultural specific, and you really need to be very self-aware in order to do this well. You need to know where your own issues are going to be, where your own opportunities are going to be, and utilize that path rather than trying to do exactly what somebody else did, because they're dealing in a very different cultural environment than you are.
Yeah, the more people I meet and talk to, Steve, at these conferences and other avenues and groups that I'm part of, the more it's amazed me how few people have followed the same path.
Right.
It's not like it's emerging, this is the right way to do it. We all should be doing that. Why didn't we go that way? It's much more, wow, ours didn't go that way. But it's working for you, it's working for me. You've really got to assess your culture and your objectives and know what your community is about and your company is about. And you've got to be willing to roll with it.
Yeah, and actually we have a session called 101 Ways to Engage, because what I find is there's no one right answer in this space, but there are a lot of options.
Right.
And so you have this huge toolkit, 101 different ways to do something,
right.
And it's the community manager's job to have the judgment to say, okay, I'm going to try these 5 things because based on our environment, I think those 5 things will work. And some of those other ones, maybe we're not ready for them, maybe they're not appropriate.
Right.
So I think that, from my perspective, that's the really tough thing about community management, is it's not, you can't go to an engineering course and learn how to program HTML and have it done.
Yeah.
It's an experiential and judgment teaching thing, which is very, it's a long cycle time to kind of learn how that all works. And you really have to talk to peers, which is why we've set up our service the way it is because there's nothing like listening to other people, listening to their experience, and then assessing what's going to work for you and what may not.
It's really all about the people, not the technology, if you're going to have success with it. And I think that's why there's so much variety. I can talk to 10 different people using the same system, and they can have 10 different experiences in how they deployed it, how it's being adopted, how much engagement there is with it, and what kind of success they're having. It's just about the people.
Fair enough. So on that note, closing thoughts, why should people be at the Enterprise 2.0 conference this week?
It's the place to be, Steve. And I'm not saying that just because you told me to. It's seriously, this conference is where you will meet the people that are leading the way in this industry and with this technology in their communities. And if you want to be able to connect with them, as we've just been saying over and over, it's the people with the the different experiences you need to draw upon. There isn't any one size fits all, but you meet the people. That's really where you can learn and get lots of ideas.
Great. Rachel?
Yeah, I would say it's the people too, and I talk a lot about getting yourself and your stakeholders to aha moments, to really understanding viscerally what this is all about for themselves. And what I found is it just takes a lot of interaction and hearing a lot of different cases to start to imagine what it might look like for you. And so events like this are indispensable for people trying to deploy this stuff.
Well, good luck with the track this week, and
Thank you.
hopefully we'll have a great week here. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.